Welcome back to our channel. This time, 5 interesting facts you didn't know before will surprise you about why the Japanese could consume raw eggs, the discovery of long-lived bacteria, and humans doing business with God. How's the detail? Let's get started. Did you know that Japanese people like to eat raw eggs? It turns out this is the fact behind Japanese raw eggs. In many parts of the world, there is a tendency not to consume raw eggs because they contain bacteria such as salmonella that can affect human health. But it is different with the Japanese, who are very often consuming raw eggs because they are considered to be healthier. It turns out there are strict regulations in place to minimize the risk of salmonella bacterial poisoning. Every egg will be thoroughly inspected through advanced machines to track bacteria and egg quality, and those that do not pass quality control will be immediately discarded. So Japanese eggs are low in salmonella bacteria. Japanese eggs also have a due date of 2 weeks after being produced. It's like all the eggs in Japan are going to be eaten raw. If you were given the chance to have superpowers, what would you choose? Actually, superpowers aren't just fantasies, because these 3 people will envy you. Number 1, Wim Hof. He's known as the Iceman because the outer powers usually survive in low temperature. Wim Hof set a Guinness World Record for swimming under the ice, and another record is a marathon barefoot on ice and snow. It turns out that his extreme abilities come from meditation and breathing techniques. Number 2, Natasha Demkina. Demkina has a special vision. Her X-ray eyes allow her to see organs and tissues in the human body. Demkina was invited to various TV stations across the country to prove her ability to diagnose fractures compared to professional medical diagnoses, and proved accurate. Number 3, Steven Wilshire. At the age of 3, Wilshire was diagnosed with autism. When he was 5, he began to show an interest in the world of pictures. In 2014, Wilshire made a short trip using a helicopter to draw a panoramic picture of Singapore's horizon. He could complete the picture in 5 days with just one memory. Frugal Living Extreme. Apply this lifestyle and you can buy whatever you want. Here are some people who managed to implement frugal living. Daniel Tay. This man can live a year by spending only $8 on his food needs in Singapore. To eat, Daniel searched for it in the garbage dump at a restaurant or a neighbor's house that was still worthy. But Daniel's neighbor cared so much about him that every day. That's why his 2 refrigerators seemed so full of fruit and vegetables. By living freegan, Daniel feels he can appreciate life more and avoid waste. Saki Tamogami. This Japanese woman managed to buy 3 houses after saving for 16 years. Every day, Saki spends only $150 on her food needs. Often, Saki cooks udon plus a variety of vegetables. Saki bought her first house for $430. 2 years later, she bought her second house for $169,137, and her third house was bought in 2019 for $349,317. Sato Hideaki, a 45-year-old Japanese man who has been practicing a frugal lifestyle for 20 years. The way he saves money is quite unique because he can eat deliciously for free by taking advantage of the facilities of the company and the supermarket coupons. This lifestyle he did for retirement at the age of 50, and now the savings are $702,000. Are you interested in applying frugal living to achieve your dreams? A potion that can make you live longer has been found. Anatoly Bruchkov is a geologist who discovered a magical bacterium that is 3,500 million years old while digging deep in the Yakutsk mountains of Siberia. The bacteria were taken to the lab and started doing experiments to inject them into mice. The results were quite striking because the mice lived longer than the average life of mice in general. Bruchkov went deeper into the bacteria and discovered that there were people living near the hole where these magical bacteria were found. And the average life expectancy of those people was longer than anywhere else because they unwittingly consumed the magic bacteria. The curious Bruchkov injected the bacteria into himself, and he felt if his body became more energetic and claimed his antibodies were stronger because he hadn't had the flu for 2 years. Have you ever thought what it would be like to have God as your business partner? Here's what's going to happen. Shola Athia, this poor Egyptian, is trying to open a farm and plantation business with his 8 friends, but they lack 1 person to be 10 business partners. Shola also told his friends to make God their 10th partner so that God would get a 10% commission in the form of donations. What's God's job in this business? Their job is to preserve and protect their enterprises from any disease. In the first year of their business, They've grown drastically. They realize it's because of God's involvement in the business, so they're raising the commission for God by 20%. The proceeds of the donations are used to advance facilities in his village. Finally, God became the 100% full shareholder of the business, and the other 9 became God's employees. When Shola Athia died in 2016, his funeral was attended by 500,000 people. What do you think? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.